So this is my first attempt ever at doing a game review. I am by no means an expert when it comes to games. There was a long period of my life where I didn't play video games. I missed out on playing so many classics. And so for that reason, I am not trying to act like I am an expert. This is just simply going to be my opinions, how I felt about certain games, and this is going to hopefully become a series on this channel where I go back and review games that I have played on stream. I finished up a couple so far, and so I have a couple of videos in mind for the future. But for this video, I'm going to start out with one of the first games I finished on stream, and it actually became one of my all-time favorite games, Detroit Become Human. I'm sure by now most of you have played this game, have experienced it for what it is. If you haven't, I suggest not watching this video. I don't want to spoil anything, but I feel like at this point, pretty much everybody that would be watching this video has probably played the game. So I basically went into it with no knowledge of the game whatsoever. One of my friends recommended it to me and said, hey, you should give this a shot. And pretty much from the beginning, I knew that this was going to be a special game. I think the very first night of me playing it, the first scene with Marcus and Carl, where they were at the studio and everything, and Marcus was doing the painting and stuff, I realized then that this was a pretty special game. And from that point on, it just got better and better. I'm not going to get super detailed into like how my personal playthrough went. If you want to check that out, I have a playlist of the entire series that you can check out. It was quite a ride, to say the least. But yeah, I don't know how to do these game reviews, so I'm just gonna say a few things, and hopefully it's you know, good enough. I don't know how to do this. This is just an idea for videos on this channel. But as far as the gameplay went, I think it was awesome. Obviously, you know, pretty much the entire game is decision based, but there was a little action here and there where you had to click buttons and stuff like that. But the gameplay was super smooth. Like, there were very few issues throughout the game. Obviously, the big part of this game were the story and the characters. And I know I said that I haven't played a ton of games before. That is absolutely true. I've watched other games that I've never personally played, and I can honestly say Detroit Become Human, between the characters and the story, is quite possibly the best as far as I have ever seen. From the very beginning of the game, you start to kind of get attached to some of the characters. Obviously, you kind of have a choice to make. Are you anti-Android? Are you on the Android side? But like I said, from the start, you get kind of connected to some of the characters, and you see the stories and how they're starting to shape up a little bit. You see the dynamic of humans are either for the androids, or they are like completely super against the androids, wanting them to just go away. And I think the developers did a very, very good job of giving you context in the very beginning. You meet the main characters and kind of the situations that they're in, and through that you kind of see how it affects the entire population of humans and androids. So I think that was very intentional. I think they did a great job with that. Like I said, the story is phenomenal. You get hooked from the very beginning all the way through the end. The decisions are so important, man. It's like, it's stressful playing this game because you don't want to make a mistake. At least for your first playthrough, I feel like you start to shape your opinions and stuff like that, and the decisions are like, man, if I mess this up, it could change the entire landscape of everything. So yeah, the story was amazing, and then going to the characters, it just another phenomenal part of the game. Obviously, you had the three main characters of Connor, Marcus, and Kara. I think all three of them were very, very important to the story in different ways. Obviously, Connor kind of having to decide if he was ultimately going to do his job, or was he going to become a deviant himself. Marcus trying to save the population. Was he going to do it peacefully? Was he going to be, you know, causing riots and things like that? And then Kara, I think, was super, super important to the game as well. Massive spoiler alert. If you haven't played the game, cut the video off right now. The car was super important with Alice and the human aspect, or so we thought. That was the biggest plot twist I think I have ever experienced in a game so far. What? You got to spend most of the game thinking that Alice was a human and seeing that there was a true possibility of a relationship between android and human. And so that certainly weighed into how I viewed androids and things like that. It was really, really, really cool to see how that all developed throughout the game, and trying to see, you know, even like with Connor and Hank, trying to get their relationship better and things like that was really interesting. So again, I don't know what I'm doing with game reviews. I'm just gonna going to point out some highlights that I kind of experienced with my playthrough. I did a tier list video actually as well of the characters in the game, and so if you watched that video, thank you first of all. If not, Marcus was actually my favorite character in the game. It all kind of goes back to, like I said, with that first scene with him and Carl, and I chose to do Marcus painting about his identity and not really knowing exactly what that looked like. And even though like I know the person that I am, I also have dealt with a lot of times in my life where I don't really know where I fit in, and I've struggled with just kind of finding myself and where exactly I'm supposed to be sometimes. And so that really like hit home for me. From there till the next episode in my playthrough where Marcus is in the junkyard after he had gotten shot, and he climbs up out of the junkyard and he's like Batman.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
Main character moment. I was like, okay, this is my guy right here. So Marcus ended up being my favorite character. Connor was a very close second. I loved Carl. I loved Hank. I loved Kara, of course. Like I said, that goes back to the characters a little bit, but yeah, that was a huge highlight for me. And then my main thing throughout the entire playthrough from the beginning was my number one priority was I had to protect Alice. I saw the situation that she was in with Todd, and it was really emotional. Like it sucked to see that she was in that situation. And so as I realized that Carl was going to have the opportunity to get her in a better situation, I made it my main mission throughout the entire playthrough to be sure that Alice was okay and that she would have a better life and a better future. And so that was like extremely stressful. The whole game was stressful because I wanted to make the right decisions for everybody, and you know, trying to make the human and android relationship somewhat balanced a little bit with Marcus. That was super stressful, but nothing was quite like dealing with Alice the entire time and just trying to make sure that she was okay. So yeah, that was a crazy part of the game. Also, one of my favorite scenes was going to Kamsky's house. Connor and Hank show up, they're trying to get some information, and Kamsky basically puts Connor to the test of like, do you have human emotions or not? You can have your opinions on Kamsky of he's a jerk or whatever. He was one of the best characters in the game, even though you only saw him for that one scene. That was freaking cinema of a scene right there, and the decisions that you made right there were just so important. Absolutely awesome stuff. That, again, one of my favorite scenes in the game. And then we got to the ending of the game, which was just complete chaos at that point, and I was setting myself up for like the perfect ending for how I wanted it to go, and unfortunately it did not quite end that way. Again, if you want to see how everything ended, the playlist will be linked down below. It should have flashed up on the screen as well. But yeah, the ending did not go how I wanted it to. But as for my first playthrough, like, you know, I was experiencing everything in that moment. There was no prior knowledge of what was going to happen. And yeah, it was absolutely chaos at the end. So as far as replayability goes, obviously you could play this game tons of times and have who knows how many different outcomes with different situations that you choose, different options, whatever. I probably won't be streaming it again, except for maybe like in the future sometime. And I certainly don't have time to play games outside of stream or filming for this channel, but I will eventually find time to play this game again to see what different options there are. I'm thinking about just playing the game completely different than how I played it the first time, just to see what happens. That's the beauty in this game, is that you know, there's no, I guess, no right or wrong. You can just experience the game. There's options for a reason, right? So I can't wait to see what other outcomes there are. And yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know how to do game reviews. I'm sorry, I'm not a game reviewer. I'm not a professional. I'm not an expert. So I'm sorry if this let you down in any sort of way. This is just me from a very basic video game knowledge level, giving my opinion on games that I go through. So coming up, we'll have a Mass Effect 1 review as well, plus others on the way pretty soon. These will be kind of sporadic on the channel because I am playing so many different games on stream right now that it's kind of hard to like schedule these out. So as I finish games, you'll get videos like this. But let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. already, leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this game as well, and any suggestions for these type of videos, these type of review videos. Please feel free to let me know what you would like to hear from my point of view and things like that. But final thought here on Detroit Become Human, I would say 10 out of 10 game. Okay, that's gonna be very, very, very rare for me to say, because I want to be honest. I want to give a true, honest, fair opinion, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this game. It is a 10 out of 10 game in my book. 5 stars, whatever rating system you want to use, it is there. It is perfect. It is as high as you can go, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I got no major issues with the game whatsoever. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, I can't wait to experience other options off stream one day and just see what other outcomes there are. But yeah, that is it. Like I said, if you have ideas, suggestions of things you want me to do in these type of review videos, please let me know down below. And also, if you want to catch the live stream sometimes, the link to my channel will be down below. I am playing through so many games right now. We have such an amazing community over there on Twitch. I stream anywhere from 4 to 6 times a week there. And like I said, I'm playing all kinds of different games. Sometimes we do like music reviews, I react to videos, things like that. We do a ton of different stuff over there, and very soon I will start doing IRL streams as well. So yeah, please stop by sometime. We would love to hang out and chat. But that is it. Today that I am filming this is National Burrito Day, and unfortunately I don't have any burritos. But if you did have burritos today, then congratulations, okay? I'm very, very happy for you and not jealous at all. All right, God bless you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.